So this is the Airstream that we are going to be staying in this week and giving you a tour of, and maybe one day living in.
We're Levi and Leah, a Canadian couple living out of our Toyota Prius to complete a road trip of a lifetime.
We left our apartment in the city to spend the next year circumnavigating North America.
Last week, we walked you through what it looks like to be pregnant while living out of a Prius.
And this week, we're living vintage in this 1976 Airstream.
Airstreams are travel trailers that Leah and I have been binging on YouTube for quite some time, and has been a dream of ours to stay in one.
Today, that dream is coming true. I'm so excited.
Oh, there it is.
So cute.
Get the heck out of here.
Are you ready?
Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. It is so much bigger than I was expecting.
Yeah, look at that bed. Oh my god, I cannot wait to be in that bed. Look how cute this fridge is.
Oh my gosh. Now, before we get into the actual tour of where we're going to be staying, let's talk a little bit about the Airstream situation.
So this is a vintage Airstream, which means they probably gutted the whole thing and rebuilt it, which is something we would be very interested in doing. And I think this one is about 24 feet, which is also around the size that we'd be looking at as well.
Now, if you have done any sort of searching around on YouTube for videos about Airstreams, you know that it is quite a bit of work and sometimes a very daunting task. So it's going to be interesting to see like what one that has been renovated looks like and feels like to be in, because a tow behind is very different than a motorhome. So we'll see, and let's go inside and see with you. I have headroom.
Look how much room you have to stand.
Wow.
Oh, this is a nice size bed.
So one of the things that we need for our future on-the-road rig is something that I can stand up in, and so far, this is a nice bit of headroom, which is lovely.
I also love that they have like a big fridge in here. Sometimes you'll see just the Dometic fridges and some La Croix. How did they know?
The kitchen has full running water. We have a double sink, which is going to be very appreciated. Turning around and facing the back, we have a sort of chilling area, which I guess could pull out into another bed. We have, I guess, an entertainment system with some generic storage.
Yeah.
Oh, and another
Little
table situation.
That pops out here.
Nice.
And I guess somebody sits there, but then how do you sit on the other side?
And in the back here, they have a full bathroom with a composting toilet. This is something that we are really excited to try out because it's an option for us. So if you saw our van life test videos, this is significantly larger interior space than what we had with that. It's definitely not something you could drag around in the city and boondock in necessarily, but it would be a much more home-like travel trailer situation.
The shower looks nice too.
Mm-hmm.
Like even like a little mini tub situation.
I know. Okay, now we are going to spend some time in this little Airstream. We're going to be shooting some YouTube videos in here. We're going to be hanging out and living in it as if it is our space as a test to see, like, is this a kind of thing that we could live in down the road, and how does Airstream life suit us, I guess.
I mean, this is stationary, but at least we get to, you know, get a sense of what it would be like to actually be in that space. Okay, so now I have to test out the toilet, and you get to watch me.
I'm like, Leah, you gotta do the test on the camera, and
I know,
she's like,
but I really have to go to the bathroom.
okay, we'll go pee.
Okay, hold on.
Did you figure it out?
Okay, so you need this open if you're gonna defecate. Close if you're peeing, and the pee diverter here. And
goes
then,
into that little tub below.
And then there's an agitator at the bottom here that you rotate slowly if you do defecate, so it'll compost.
So as a lot of you maybe mentioned when we made our van life video, there's two main ways to poo on the road. One is with a water toilet and a black tank, and the other option is a composting toilet like that one. There is pros and cons to both. This one seems like it might be a little bit more flexible in terms of like where you can go and how long you can last without needing to take it out. Apparently black water tanks are a nightmare, but these are a lot more expensive and harder to come by. So let us know what you think of those options down below.
I think I did it right. I don't know, the agitator is supposed to like turn it, but I can only go like, so.
Wow.
I hope it's agitated enough.
All right, so far our time in Airstream has been spent doing what we do every time we get an Airbnb, which is just sit around inside.
Just enjoy being inside. We had a nice dinner, and now being in a bed with a duvet. I would say the mattress itself is about the same size as the one that's in the Prius, though.
It's not that much bigger, which is something we have to consider if we're gonna do something like this. Like, I want to be comfortable.
You're not comfortable touching me the whole night?
No, I am. I just do it all the time.
Now you're used to it.
So how was your sleep in the Airstream?
So great. It got pretty cold last night. We had some of the windows open, but it was so warm under the duvet. Honestly, in the Prius, I think I toss and turn a lot. Last night, the only time that I like moved, I was like, I have to go pee, but I don't want to leave.
So this Airstream has been renovated, restored, if you will, as we mentioned before, but it wasn't done very well.
As you may be able to see, the entire interior here is original. They haven't pulled off any of these panels. The windows are all original. You can see these knobs are like a little hard to actually move or open at all. The door is just kind of one solid laminated piece now because they just kind of glued it all together. Usually there is a panel in here that you can use as a screen.
Is that a cockroach?
And we just found a cockroach inside the Airstream.
Where
that
are
is
you hiding?
you guys. Like, we live in a car.
Man. Come on.
We've just wanted so badly to be inside where there isn't like insects on everything, and yeah, there's a cockroach.
Can you get me like a piece of cardboard or paper? Now I've trapped him. You're gonna take him out?
Ow.
Oh,
Why?
I was
Don't.
trying to get out of the
Don't
way.
hurt yourself.
Ow.
How far are you supposed to get rid of him? Like, are you supposed
Far
to throw
away.
it at...
Don't just...
Well, I'm not wearing... I gotta put my shoes on now.
Yeah. Is he gone?
Yeah. That was unsavory.
What a great way to start the day.
Anyway.
Back to the Airstream.
So you might be wondering why are Airstreams even a consideration for us at this point? Well, my uncle actually has an Airstream that is for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and like maybe we could negotiate a little nifty deal or something.
We thought about it, and like even with like rose-colored glasses, we're like, okay, but like what if it has good bones? And we're like, that looks rotten. We're like, okay, but what if we're like, no. The one thing I will say for Airstream though is damned they maintain their value. Like
Yeah.
if you bought one, you try to renovate it, and then even halfway through renovating it, you give up, someone will probably still buy it. And even if you renovate it and sold it like 15 years later, I still think you could get close to what you paid for it.
Alright, so far I'm not a huge fan of the composting toilet, as you may know. But right now we have a problem because the agitator here, which is supposed to turn everything over, won't turn over. In your own house, with your own toilet, with your own system, this would be just kind of annoying, but we also have the awkwardness of this being an Airbnb and the owner being the person who is gonna fix our toilet.
I also have like range anxiety with this like pea catcher thing. Like, how long is this gonna last for us?
Texting her saying that the agitator isn't working and only shifts one way or another but doesn't go fully around, right? You can't poo anywhere else. You're not gonna go in the house. I've already sent her a message. Just go poo and we'll deal with it. You can't make good decisions right now.
Yeah.
I do feel a bit bad that we made her stir up our shit. Like, literally, she had to be our shit disturber. And all we needed to do was give it a bit more muscle.
So far, honestly, the interaction with this composting toilet's been so awkward.
It's not that bad. When I pee, it's fine. You are such a diva. Like, I don't understand.
We're done the other one?
No, it's in the gun basket.
So we have a couple of veggie dogs here with a big salad and possibly the best ever drink that we have found on this trip.
Honestly, these Spindrift sodas are so good. Every flavor is so good.
And for a person who's not drinking.
Even if I was drinking, I still would enjoy this.
The cooking setup in here is very limited. The eating setup in here is very limited. This is not the layout that we would aspire to for ourselves. It works for now, but it just reconfirms for us that kitchen space, food in general, very important. This is our routine now, is to take a picture of Leah's baby bump.
It's actually bumping!
There we go. This is a big step for you, I feel like.
Yeah. Now, like, people can see. I mean...
A very, very small amount
just
right
like,
now.
oh, she had a big lunch. I'm like, there's a baby in there!
Yes.
A peach-sized baby!
Feels kind of weird still.
What, because it's kind of soft?
No, like I just don't know what to do.
Eventually you're going to start talking to them, and they're going to feel the moves. You can just say hi.
So we picked up these disc golf discs at a store yesterday because we saw this disc golf course and I was like, you know what, I love Frisbee. I'm gonna try Frisbee golf. So we bought the cheapest set we could find and we're gonna try out disc golf.
What? It went far?
Oh, no, that's probably further than mine, honestly.
So the Airstream is like the fantasy version of what we could do. Really, what we're thinking is a truck and a tow-behind trailer, but it's nice to know, I don't know, what size we would actually want to live in.
I think this current Airstream is just a little too long. Like it seems like a lot of house to tow behind a vehicle. What we would want for a tow behind is something really small so that we can pull it with something that isn't like a giant truck or something. We want something small but big enough to have like the bathroom and living space that we want. Oh, Leah, you found it. Oh, not bad. This is like half of the ultimate Frisbee experience is like, where did I just throw my Frisbee?
One challenge with a tow behind though is I don't know how comfortable I'll be driving it. So while we may like the Airstream, I don't know what it's like to find parking for that thing, how to back it into a spot.
You don't even drive the Prius that often.
I do. We split up the driving. It's just so easy to drive the Prius. I would say fairly successful first time.
Not
Despite
bad.
you almost falling down a hill and almost losing them.
Multiple times.
Yeah, but not bad.
Done.
Pew, pew, pew. Well, no, we gotta take that with us.
All right.
That's ours.
Leah is getting her snack on, of course, after a hard day out on the course.
Oh, yeah, it was tough. You know, I didn't think we would pull through, but, you know, I really put in the effort and the time. Now I just gotta, you know, have those snacks for the macro gains.
What is happening right now? So I would say Airstream life is an aspirational dream for us. We want to find something that we have to renovate, you know, something that we can learn about construction through, you know, and truly make our own. That is a big part of it, but
I love the idea of bringing something back to life, giving it new life instead of buying something new. But I think the Airstream that we could afford would be too far gone.
I think this is a super valuable process. If any of you are considering living on the road or at least spending long periods of time in some sort of vehicle-like contraption, we've learned so much from being in the van, in this, and it has influenced what we decide will be our future on the road home.
We've met some people on the road who have bought and sold multiple RVs, but what a nice way to not make that initial really big investment and instead go away for a weekend, see what it's like.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, before you commit so much time and energy and money, see if you actually like it.
All right, so I know this episode has been very Airstream focused, of course, but we have had a bunch of adventures here in Atlanta, and if you want to see the rest of our adventures that don't make it onto the channel, you should be following us on Instagram, and if you want to be a part of the community that supports what we do, there's also our Patreon page, both of them, down in the description below.
Usually it's us eating really cool things, and this time in Atlanta, we went to Slutty Vegan, which already, excellent name, and when you're ordering a burger that's called the One Night Stand, you're like, yes,
this is fun.
I want this, with extra sauce.
Welcome to Asheville. It's a favorite snack nowadays, the mango slices.
It's also my favorite part of any hike, is when we get to have a snack.
Can't pronounce the name, that's why I'm not saying it.
I think it's Lake Powhatan, and as you can tell, it's quite chilly.